Yikes.
I could see top was serious.
It's interesting. We've also changed to a sort of abrupt loss of fauna present on the stratum we've been looking at. Oh,
until now. Good timing for that comment. Nah, I know exactly what you meant. Know exactly what you meant.
This is more of that coral.
Yeah, this is just really old Enelopsamia, I think.
Yeah, just do a snap here real quick. Yeah, just come right in. That's a crab.
Oh, look at that.
Another one of those crabs.
Hey,
what do you say it was called?
Sirdomaya.
Sirdomaya?
Yeah, Sirdomaya.
Could you adjust the heading to 240 so we can look at it real quick?
Sure. Pilot, I'd like to come to 240.
Yeah, go for it.
Because, yeah, we want to start moving more south. So
I can come to 235
each
even.
bump, if we go a little more south,
Okay.
that'll be good for us.
He's at about 235 from me right now.
Copies. Yeah, I think 235 or 240 for the next move.
Okay, this is right in the middle of both of them, so you can get a idea.
Okay.
They both look good.
Yeah, let's
come on out video.
235.
Great.
If you're ready, I can put that in. 20-meter bump at 235.
I am okay with that.
Sure.
Great. I'll put it in.
See how all the Enelopsamia are lined up along the edge?
Wow.
I'm just going to peek over the side here. We got another good wall back there.
Wonder what leads to just the end of a colony like that. Maybe the current flow just ends or something.
I don't know. You got to understand how they reproduce too, which we don't have a really great understanding of. Are they just dropping competent larvae right next door to where they are, or do they actually spawn them into the water column?
Pulled around here.
Things just land right
Coming
next
back.
to each other eventually. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of these Enelopsamia. I usually see corallium above the Enelopsamia bed, and now we got a little bit of a reverse where you have the corallids were below the Enelopsamia, which is pretty strange.
Oh yeah, that's true. We haven't seen a hemicorallium in a while, have we?
No, we transitioned out of the main bed. And actually 400 meters is typically primo for this coralliids. At least the Makapu coral beds is around 350 to 450 meters.
That's good. Alright everyone, welcome to the What Was That channel. I'm just testing out my new intro. Seemed to be alright, my volume was a little low. I've been known to have volume issues. It is Saturday, July 15th. It's what, like 9 o'clock? I want to thank who's watching. I got Nicholas Cabal watching. You've been wrenched also, my friend. Thanks for tuning in. Alright. I put together some stuff for tonight's episode or broadcast or whatever you want to call it. I usually like to start out with I just want to check all my parameters, make sure everything's all set. Let's see here. Alright, that's alright. Alright. 1 second, I apologize. How's everyone doing tonight? Alright. I had some Okeanos Explorer footage going on there for a minute. It was pretty sweet. Let me put it back up. Take a look at that. They're just like looking for stuff on the bottom of the ocean. It's pretty cool. Seems alright. I found it interesting. It's pretty crazy. See, yeah, I had a beautiful day today. Beautiful blue skies. No chemtrails in sight. It was really nice. I didn't get too many. Oh, I dropped something. I didn't get too many pictures or anything outside today. I had to mow my field, and it took me like 3 hours to mow everything in this blazing sun, so I'm like exhausted from it. I'm doing good, Nicholas. Thanks for asking. I had checked out some of your footage of I saw the wild turkeys in the land. I love outdoors, so when I saw your video of that, I had to check it out immediately. But yeah, we had beautiful weather today. It was gorgeous. Which brought me to, I've noticed that, I've been trying to be organized with my stuff here. Let's see. Oregon's been reporting massive amounts of wildfires and even conditions that are optimum for fires, and that is not good. Out of California, you have 5,000 firefighters working to control up to 14 large fires. So in the Northwest, they got seems to be like perfect conditions for these wildfires. Let's close this down, bring this over so everyone can see. I don't want that to play. Always messes with my audio. So you have wildfires in Canada and California, forcing thousands to evacuate. This is pretty intense. I can't imagine like having to leave or anything like that. But see, hot and dry conditions in the West are feeding wildfires in the U.S. and Canada. 5,000 firefighters. This is crazy. So here we go. Here's the current map. Wildfires. You had lots of chemtrails, and this morning the moon was out at AM to 80. Yeah, I see the moon out a lot early. Seen some deer. I'll just. Oh man, that's the worst. Yeah, I accidentally delete a lot of stuff, especially now that I'm trying to like make videos and just regular editing. No, I did not know Antarctica was classified as a desert. I'm sure they know something we don't know. I'm sure they know a lot of stuff we don't know. But we got wildfires out northwest. On top of that, let's see, is this the, yep, this is the map I wanted to show. All these raging. We're going to lose upwards of, what did they say? I forget how many square miles. But anyways, so we got wildfires out west. I just think all the wildlife that gets displaced because of it. It's kind of saddening, and humans and stuff like that. Just everything. It's just a sad loss. Let's see. I wanted to show this also. Here we go. So now you have all these forest fires happening, and they're debating on the use of a jumbo bomber as wildfires rage in the west. So they have to debate whether, you know, they save you or your house or anything, you know, because heavens forbid, you know, they have to use this stuff to outside of war, you know, because that's if there was oil over there, they'd have that shit, you know, put out and, you know, all the pretty much occupied. Let me check my chat here. Do you know? Look it up. It's Antarctica is a desert. They were controlled. Yeah, I'm gonna write this down. Let's see. I got a notepad in front of me. I'm trying to be professional and organized here, Nicholas. So let me write this down. Antarctica, a desert, and we are gonna check it out. We'll check that out. So I have it written down. They were controlled burns. Yeah, to keep it down, because if it gets out of control, it's gonna be crazy. We don't have to worry about forest fires up here too much. We get tons of rain. I'm northeast, so not saying it can't happen or anything, but they're much more prone to it in the northwest there. But here you go. They're debating instead of just doing and getting this done. They'll spend money on everything else except saving people. Hurricane Katrina victims waited 90 days for help. Should we use this huge jet to put out a fire? I don't know. I don't know. Just crazy. Don't get me wrong, like, these jets dump a little water on these massive fires, but still, they never seem to have money for this, but have billions and billions of dollars for everything else. It's crazy. So I feel bad for these forest fires, or these families. Let's see here. Alright. The next thing I wanted to talk about, besides the wildfires that are raging across the northwest, is the earthquake situation. I mean, what's going on with that? I had looked up. Yeah, they won't hesitate to spray those chemtrails. They don't. I have a good friend of mine that works in jet propulsion, aviation. He's got a really good job, and he tells me, so just like the cost to maintain and fly aircraft is like ridiculous. So like you see these military aircraft and stuff, and like it's literally like $10,000 an hour, because it's just not the fuel, it's the pilot, all the maintenance, the mechanics, the fluid, the fuel. Like, so they have all this time to fly these jets that they spray this stuff on us with, and they can't, you know, help us. So it's getting evident to see what's happening. But the thing I find with the earthquake situation is they don't really have up-to-date like stuff. It's all a couple days ago, the 14th, and here we have earthquake shakes up Wichita with I believe it's a 4.2 magnitude. You know, that's not anything to be, you know, shy about. Yeah, exactly. You waited FEMA almost a year after we lost our. Yeah, that's crazy. 1 year for help. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So Wichita, and like, just imagine if this massive earthquakes happen. What's gonna happen to these counties or these people? Just really discerning. Let's see. We'll go to this live. This is the University of Utah's geological survey, or like, I don't know what it is, earthquake map, seismometers and whatnot. So we'll check out we're gonna live check out if there's any new activity. So it looks like yesterday at 9 o'clock there was a little one. 2.2, nothing major, but still nothing to frown. But seems to be still activity in the area. This whole basin, whatever you call it, is all active. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm no professional geologist or let's see. I'm trying to. Yeah, see, there's nothing new, but they'll tell you, don't worry. See, here you go, you get more 3.0s. It was ridiculous. We lived out of a pop-up camp. You know what's funny, Nicholas? I love the outdoors. I love camping. I love hiking. I love all that stuff. And I don't want to say I collect pop-ups, but I have a few of them. I love those little things, so I use them to go camping and stuff like that. I call them my little portable offices. So I know exactly what you're talking about. And one summer I stayed in mine. I got to camp out in it like 60-something days while off from college. So yeah, I feel your pain. I know exactly what you're talking about. I just don't know what's going on with the earthquakes. I feel they're pulling stuff back from us. So you have all this activity. Nothing major going on though, just that 5 point something in Montana the other day. And then the newer here's what we really have to be worried about. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the pop-up campers, and you crank it out, and then you pull the beds out from each side, and then the little hooks. Yeah, I got a couple of those things. I love those things. Let's see here. HAARP can cause earthquakes. I believe it. I believe it. For a while, I'm in my 30s now. I'm 33. And when I was in my 20s, I was going to school. And over the summer, I didn't have a good job, so I was home a lot. And I got to watch a lot of TV. And they were reporting on all different types of stuff. And they just mentioned, it was one time I heard it. They were talking about HAARP and like earthquakes or something like that. And that was the last I ever heard of it, ever. And that was like probably 10 years ago I heard that. And that was the last I ever heard of it. I heard it one time on TV. Yeah, not a lot of people know what I'm talking about when I tell them I have a pop-up camper. They're like, what is that? What do you mean? I'm like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, what is that? So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and close these down. And we're going to... I know, 33, it's everywhere. It's on like... Oh, man. It's crazy. Oh, no. Alright. Now the big news. Uh-oh, everyone hold on to your seats. This massive iceberg has broken off. So, you have a 2,200 square mile chunk of ice. It's 10% of the Larsen ice shelf. Now dislodged and broken off, supposedly. It's gonna float. I don't have to worry about it, so I don't have to go down there. Nothing's gonna happen anyways. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. It will displace nearly 4 million gallons of water and then cause nothing's gonna happen. Nothing. It's just crazy. It's absolutely ludicrous. I'm gonna check my dashboard real quick, so if you don't hear me talking, it's just that. I'm assuming they like use averages or something. Like they just, I don't know. They just guess. They just guess. It's just crazy. 99 miles wide. Yeah, it's a questimate, exactly. They don't know. 1.1 trillion tons. Crazy. They can melt it down and make make bottled water out of it or something. Triple their money. Yeah, it's all fear porn. It's ridiculous. It's always like it's ridiculous. It's literally fear porn. And I was actually gonna, let me see here. I actually had something. Oh man, did I not save it? Oh, I must have not saved it. That's alright. I had found a clip of Al Gore, and this was like 10 years ago. I think it was more than that. Actually, you know what? We're gonna find it. We're gonna find it. Al Gore. Oh yeah, right here. This dude. Okay. Let me pause it so everyone can hear. Get some audio. I'm gonna leave my mic on so I can interrupt it. All right. I'm skipping that out. So he's gonna describe what the sea levels were like, and this is like 10, 12 years ago.
This is what happened. And here's the melting from 2005. Tony Blair's scientific advisor has said that because of what's happening in Greenland right now, the maps of the world will have to be redrawn.
Check out this fear porn.
If Greenland broke up and melted, or if half of Greenland and half of West Antarctica broke up and melted, this is what would happen to the sea level in Florida.
There you go, Nicholas. You're done, dude.
This is what would happen to San Francisco Bay. A lot of people live in these areas. The Netherlands, one of the low countries, absolutely devastating. The area around Beijing that's home to tens of millions of people. Even worse, in the area around Shanghai, there are 40 million people.
Look at this. Scare
Worse
tactics.
still, Calcutta and to the east, Bangladesh, the area covered.
Ready? I
includes
was watching this
60
and then
million
I questioned
people.
something.
Think of the impact of
Let's see here. I'm
a
gonna
couple
make it full
100,000 refugees when they're displaced by an environmental event. And then imagine the impact
Here
of
we go.
100 million
Check this
or
next
more.
next scene out here.
Here's Manhattan. This is the World Trade Center Memorial Site. And after the horrible events of 9/11,
You remember what happened on 9/11? You don't be a shame if something like that happened again, wouldn't it? Be a real shame if something had to happen to the American people like this again.
we said never again. But this is what would happen to Manhattan. They can measure this precisely, just as the scientists could predict.
Really? So they can measure this precisely. So this video was what made, I remember I was a kid when 2006, so 11 years ago. 11 years ago. Has any of this happened? Has any of this happened? Nothing. I bet it still looks just like this today. With all the current global warming happening. No change in sea level. But anyways, I mean, I'm just fear porn. That's all they're doing. Al Gore got rich off this. I don't blame him, man. It's good stuff. Make money on it. That's awesome. But that's it for my that's it for the news. I like to keep it. What is that? How long? 24. That's perfect. I want to do half-hour news. That's all I have for updating on current events across the globe. I did want to lead right into this. All right.
But
I have to pause this. You're going to see. This is going to drive me nuts. I have OCD. This has to go, because if I see this, there we go. Okay. This is USGS's 2017 June evening public lecture. Let me check my chat real quick here. Did you hear Stephen Hawking say the Earth is going to be too hot for humans to survive and we need to go to space? Oh, man. Nicholas. Stephen Hawking has been around since I was like a little kid. I don't know how this guy is still around. I swear. I swear. he passed away and they replaced him with another person just to keep like the scientific thing going. He doesn't look anything like he used to. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to like make fun of anyone with ALS or anything, and I'm by no means not. I'm just saying there's a clear, distinctive difference in him over the past like 3 to 4 to 5 years versus when I was a kid. It's totally different. Yeah, but we need to go to space because, you know, space is a huge moneymaker. Yeah, of course. It's ridiculous. It's just insane. And there's going to be a couple real good insane things in this U.S. Geological Survey's evening public lecture. We got some fear porn. There's a couple different what was that moments I think are in here. Let me where to start here with this guy. Okay, so notice what he's got on, a beach shirt, indicating that it's hot and it's warm already. Psychological warfare. Make sure the volume's good.
Weather and long-term climate. And things like temperature is going up, rainfall is either going up or going down, but extremes, snowpack is going down, fires are going up, droughts are up, floods are up, tornadoes and hurricanes are up and occurring in bizarre locations and bizarre timing in terms of seasonality. Sea level rise is up, El Nino events are becoming more frequent, seasonality is unpredictable.
This is
and ocean productivity
absolutely
is
ridiculous.
Unclear.
This guy is telling you all this stuff is increasing. When Weather Channel literally just told me maybe 8 months ago they had to recalibrate what storms were because storms weren't hitting the levels they were, so they weren't having anything to report on. So if winds have to hit 50 miles an hour before they report on it being super severe and winds aren't getting there, you have no story. So they brought everything down to like 30 miles an hour. Then you can report on everything. You now have storms again. So it's almost as if the weather's getting better. So all they do is bring the bar down so they can report on more storms, but they're really not heavier. They brought the bar down and they're just reporting on more storms. I don't know if that was explained properly. Sea level rise, tornado, hurricanes.
I think we'll try to
it's just
move
crazy.
On. However, I would like to start us off.
Don't get me wrong, I believe in
with
droughts and
grounding,
stuff,
so we're all on the
but not
same
to the
page
level they
start
say.
out with. Anybody that's gone to high school, I won't have a poll on that. You probably have been exposed to the natural greenhouse effect, which basically is, you know, the sun beats down on the earth, heats a portion of the earth, and some of that energy is reflected. This problem. So how hot is hot? Well,
look at this graph. Look at this. All right, I'm not gonna lie. I used to mountain bike when I was a kid, and I remember in high school, even before high school, I used to mow the neighbors' lawns, and I had like my own little lawn business. Before I had a car and everything, I was probably like 13, 14 years old, and I mowed everyone's lawn on the street. And at like 14 years old, I was making, I don't know, I had a good little business, and I could afford a nice mountain bike. And during summer vacations, I would ride every day, everywhere. Everywhere. I rode my bike, my mountain bike, all these, everywhere. And I remember days that were so hot. And this is back in 1996, 97, 98, 99. Days that were ridiculously hot. August has always been hot for me
Since
here.
1998.
They're going to show like this graph.
2016 was the hottest year. But if we look here, this marks the 39th straight year of above average global annual temperatures from the average. And the odds of that happening by random without global warming is about 1 in 27 million.
Ridiculous.
And I'm going to show you a little diagram here. This is a diagram of subsidence. So this is 1925. The land surface was up here.
Let's see,
1950,
this is right
it
here.
does expand.
All right,
And literally the ocean is expanding. And that's why we have some of the sea level we have today, sea level rise we have today. Now a third 50% is caused, no, that's not right. Okay.
Yeah, I live in the Northeast, so we have tons of water under aquifers in the ground and stuff. So we don't experience the droughts in the form that a lot of other areas do out west, down in Florida. Let's see here. Here's the, oh my god, look at this picture. Is it even real? It's literally digital. It's not even a real picture. Yeah, we get muggy as fuck here too, especially in August. It gets crazy.
So the Arctic.
So okay, so from here, from 1980, okay, from 1980 to 2012, look at this, how much melted. Okay, right? Well, now Al Gore just showed us what was going to happen to New York. I gotta go bring that up now. Now, Al Gore was going to show us 10 years ago the sea level increase. And has the sea level increased? Let's go. I gotta bring up Al Gore. I gotta light someone on fire right here.
Wherever your great idea happens.
Let's see. I want that chart again, or that picture. Yep, right here. Okay. So, this is what would happen, Al Gore said, if stuff melted. It would come in the streets and fill up New York or Manhattan. Okay, right? Now here you go. You have this. This is just this month, 2017, June. Here's this guy, Arctic Sea. Here's 1980, 2012, 30 years of ice melting. Has this happened? Has this even happened? No, nothing happens. It's all fake. It's still like this today. No sea level rise. Nothing. Nothing's gonna happen. So from here to here, they just told you if it melts, it's gonna rise. This literally, if they're telling me this happened, where's the rise? It's like, who literally doesn't have their head screwed on right to understand this? I can't take it. It's just insane.
Has been suffering from some of this increased temperature. And if we look at 1980, this is the North Pole, and here's Greenland. Looking at the Arctic in 1980, we had a lot of sea ice. 2012, you can visually see it's tremendously diminished. This is the minimum.
Well, where's the water? Where's the rise?
In those two areas.
Where's the rise?
And
it's just insane.
This is the Arctic, and the Antarctic is having problems too. I just returned a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago from an expedition to the Antarctic, and there's things that are happening down there similarly.
Right.
So here's the Arctic that we just looked at,
of this that I
declining up in 2017.
This made me laugh.
Very realistic, but it would sure be nice if we could get the countries to agree to do what they said they would agree in the Paris Agreement. So that would bring us, as we know, California is
California is a global leader. California is a global leader. The only reason California leads is because if you don't do what they say, they ticket the shit out of you, so you have to do it.
Global leader in some of these environmental
exactly.
issues.
The transition from low tide to high tide. I 100% agree. Which I still have no idea how they work. Yep, from space, it's true.
Assembly Bill 32, which was part of the Global Warming Solutions
California
Act, was passed in
is
2006.
a global leader.
It established a program to reduce California greenhouse gas emissions to 1990 standard. Quite a few states.
Any questions?
Yes.
Okay, so this guy is taking questions from the audience, and some people are drilling, drilling him on certain topics, and he's getting a little sweaty. So this guy has to jump in. Let me find it here, and you can just see the fear mongering with this. Go ahead and take a look at this. And I'm gonna let this play. I'm gonna actually turn my mic down so you can hear.
If there was an effort to pull out.
Oh, it's such garbage. It's such garbage, dude.
So what about Congress? Do we see both
I'm
sides?
Gonna fast forward this. I don't want.
That do
change caucus.
Oh, here we go.
I can give a.
All right. So they're having a press conference or whatever, a little public lecture, and they've been asking this guy questions who works for the USGS, and then they have this guy step in, clearly for some fear porn, and it's so evident. I'm gonna bring the volume up, and I'm gonna bring my mic down because I'm notorious for completely interrupting and ruining clips. So I'm gonna bring my mic down.
Understand the facts about climate change, and hopefully those people will step up and make the right decisions. Yes.
I can give a little bit of an answer to that. I'm Ro Khanna's district director. And the congressman has been approached by people to join the Climate Change Caucus. But the Climate Change Caucus has a rule, sort of like the ballroom dancing thing that my cousin was approached to about putting her kid in. They would only allow a girl to join if a boy also joined, so that everyone would have partners. And my cousin had a son, and her friend had a daughter, and her friend wanted the daughter to be in the ballroom dancing thing, so my cousin made her son take ballroom dancing so this other girl could do it. So far, Congressman Khanna has not found a Republican partner to allow him to join the Climate Change Caucus, but they are working on that. Some of these guys who might be feeling a little bit endangered next year, maybe that will provide some motivation. But, you know, Al Gore was right. This is an inconvenient
Al Gore
truth.
was right.
And a lot
I have to interrupt. I cannot not interrupt this. This guy just said Al Gore was right. When we just looked, we literally looked at the U.S. Geological Survey's map of the Arctic melting from 1980 to 2012 or whatever it was. And then you have Al Gore showing what would happen if something said that large melted. And we see no evidence of that. And this asshole, I'm sorry, this guy, is literally going to sit here and say Al Gore is right.
But, you know, Al Gore was right. This is an inconvenient truth.
Oh,
and a lot
my
of people
God.
just don't want to think about it or accept it. As a scientist, it's appalling that we even have to be debating scientific fact. I mean, it's just appalling. I'm sure you feel the same way.
God, I can't even handle this.
But we do. And so the best thing we can do is tell our friends and
How dare you question a guy in a lab coat when you can clearly just use what these guys just showed you to prove them wrong? But how dare you question a lab coat?
to wake up and smell the coffee, and that, you know, there is a place that had a runaway greenhouse effect. It's called Venus, and the temperature is 700 degrees, and they have sulfuric acid clouds. I mean, a mass extinction event is quite possible here.
Did he just say a mass extinction event is quite possible here? You have got to be kidding me.
To wake up and smell the coffee, and that, you know, there is a place that had a runaway greenhouse effect. It's called Venus, and the temperature is 700 degrees, and they have sulfuric acid clouds. I mean, a mass extinction event is quite possible here. Clouds. I mean, a mass extinction event is quite possible here. Clouds. I mean, a mass extinction event is quite possible here.
A mass extinction event is quite possible. Meanwhile, oh man, these guys make me mad. These guys make me mad because, look at this. Al Gore said if half this Arctic melted, which it looks like half of it did, we'd have sea rise increase, and there's none. And I'm using their stuff. I mean, it's just insane. And I'm the crazy one. I'm sorry. I gotta take a drink of water. This is just literally insane. Literally insane. I can't even believe this. Let me see where I am here. Oh, man. Mass extinction event. Get the out of here. That's it. We're done with this guy. I can't take this anymore. I'm gonna leave it up though. All right. Yeah, you mean like the cloud? Yeah, exactly. It's so insane. It's just insane. The only other thing I wanted to take a look at is like I said earlier, I love the outdoors. It's one of my favorite things. I could be outdoors all the time. And some of my favorite readings, or just like stuff to read about, were Native American stories growing up as a kid. My grandmother had like a farm and stuff, so we were outdoors, all that stuff too. And they, you know, they were old school, and they had stories and stuff like that, which just led me to, you know, do my own research. And I like Bigfoot. I have never seen one. I don't claim to have any of that stuff, but I do believe our ecosystems can provide food to sustain something that large. There's no doubt in my mind. No doubt. Yeah, exactly. It's way more than half. And there's no sea level rise. We just literally used their data. And they literally even said Al Gore. We literally went to Al Gore and showed that the shit's bullshit. And I don't want to swear here, but it's ridiculous. Oh my, yeah, exactly. It's called the mass extinction, or AKA depopulation, is called the Great Culling. But yeah, I like Bigfoot. I believe they're real. And it looks as though I don't really talk about it because people think you're crazy, but Rob Lowe has a new series out where he, like, you know, does his thing, paranormal stuff.
As we live longer.
He kind of copied the What Was That channel, you know. But anyways, they were in Florida, and in Florida they have what's called the wood ape, and Rob Lowe is, you know, surrounded by people with rifles and military people, because they don't go do these shows out in the middle of nowhere without some lead throwers or something like that. And they had an encounter with something in Florida, and he literally thought it was going to kill them. And pretty crazy. I don't know if it's just an ad to get his show promoted, but I don't know. They're supposedly having it on foot, and, you know, it could be just TV, but nonetheless. I believe in Bigfoot if giants are possible. Absolutely. I believe in, I don't want to sound crazy either, but because it's just speculation, and it is my belief, but I believe in giants. Existed once. And I do believe in Sasquatch, Bigfoot, whatever you want to call it, Yowie, any of that stuff. I've never seen one. The only thing that's ever happened to me is, out of all the time I've spent in a tree stand, all the time tent camping, all the time hiking, all the time camping in RVs, everything. There was one time I went camping in a mountain called Bear Mountain. And there was a group of us, maybe 10 of us. And me and my friend Mike got to the state park first. And I keep a clean area. We cleaned and leaf blowed the whole area out. You set our tents up. No food goes in the tents. Keep a clean site, all that stuff. I have a mat outside. I take my floor mats from my car and put it outside my tent so I can leave my shoes on it, so I don't have to keep shoes in. I don't want anything to smell stuff inside my tent. And one morning, it may be 5 in the morning, the first night, I literally opened my eyes, already in fear, complete fear. I literally opened my eyes to complete fear. And I'm opening my eyes to my friend Mike looking at me with the same look on his face, with his fingers across his mouth, like, shh, don't talk. And I clearly wasn't. I was literally frozen in fear. And I'm like, what is going on? And right outside our tent, you could hear something taking steps. But the steps weren't loud or anything. But what it was that was, to me, scary was the reverberation through the ground, through my air mattress. Now, I've spent time in a tree stand. I've hunted bows. I've hunted with a rifle. And I've just used a DSLR in my tree stand to, you know, observe nature. And I've never in my life heard something make the ground vibrate when it took a step like this. And the amount of air this thing could take in when it was breathing was absolutely massive. Now, this whole event lasted about 30 seconds. Now, I just wake up. My friend Mike's looking at me with his finger over his mouth. And this thing, and I'm the only person, when I set up my tent, I make guy lines to hold the tent down in the rain. And I hide the guy lines so people around the camp don't hit them. So I hide them in, like, the tree or, like, just offset angles. And this thing must have walked around it, and its foot caught one of the guidelines. But instead of walking through it and ripping my guideline, it moved its foot back and hopped a little bit over the guideline, not to disturb anything. And it caught itself, and when it did, it made a really big thump. And it was at that point my friend Mike was like, "Oh my God, dude!" And we just heard it make some massive snort breath, like smelling the tent and stuff. And thank God I didn't have candy bars or anything in our tent. And that's the reason why. And we just heard it slowly, boom, boom, back off into the woods, and that was it. I've never in my life awoken to fear or anything like that. And I never got to see it. I'm not saying anything, but I've never heard something on 4 legs or something like that make that much noise just walking. Like, not noise, just reverberation from the weight. But that's my story. I still can remember exactly how I felt when I woke up hearing it and the amount of air that it took in. I thought I've heard one. Yeah, it was crazy. I just remember just when it walked, you could feel it through the air mattress. Poof, and I was like, oh my God. I'm like, this is no joke. But here you go. Rob Lowe recalls Bigfoot encounter. I thought I was going to be killed. It is no joke. They are out there, people, and don't mess with them. They're professionals of the woods. Yep, grunting. They're letting you know. Do not mess with them. The Native Americans translate them as bosses of the woods, and that they are. Professionals. Yep, they are to be respected and feared. At least I feel. But you got Rob Lowe here. Finding Bigfoot. Alright, on to some more, what was that material? Let's see here. What's my time at? Am I doing pretty good on my dashboard? 45 minutes? Cool, yeah, I'll take it. Unlike any animals I've ever heard. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. What I heard outside, the breaths were just huge of this thing. I didn't smell anything, probably because the way the tent's shaped and how the air has to come up through the little vents. I never got to smell anything. But man, I remember this thing walking, and it hit that guy line. And instead of tearing the tent and moving it, it had the agility to move its foot back and up and over, and it must have hopped a little bit. And when it landed, it was just like, boof. It's crazy. If it was on 4 legs, it would never have to do that, because it has 3 other legs to catch itself. It wouldn't like trip like that. And it was pretty nerve-wracking. Nobody really talked about it until later in the day. And I brought it up. And I was like, did anybody look outside and see what that was? And they were like, no. And I'm like, yeah, that's right, you didn't. But that's the exact reason I keep a clean tent and all that stuff. No food, nothing in the tent. Gotta keep it clean. And where I live is in the, I live in the middle of nowhere. Let's see here. What else do I want to show? Oh yeah, I had some footage of the Soyuz capsule I wanted to show.
Yes, zapis.
So I watched one of these capsules land.
Zapis.
And look at how violent this is.
Yes, zapis.
Oh man. Do you see this girl over here? Look at this girl.
Zapis.
Boom! Your face hit that glass. Don't lie to me.
Yes. Zapis.
This is it touching down on the ground. What happened? Alright, so what I did, because it made me curious, was I found out what that is.
And the onboard simulator.
Let me check the audios here so everyone can hear.
During this session, the crew are reminded about the most important actions they will have to perform during the re-entry. They carefully run through the procedures for each critical step.
So I really don't care about any of this. It's all animation. See, everything's fake.
The result,
everything's
the trajectory travels along its trajectory about 30 minutes before landing.
Actually, you know what? I'm just going to show you everything that's fake.
Docking ports for
fake.
hosting
It's not even real.
Vehicles. In this example, of
fake.
After the opens and ensures
fake.
Lead about to enter the Earth's atmosphere.
Alright.
Is able to change the way it flies.
So what I really want to show everybody.
The design of the Soyuz enables it to do this. The capsule's lift increases when it rotates in one
direction. It's this.
land next to the capsule shortly after touchdown.
All right, so what the capsules have is what's called a soft landing, the soft landing boosters. There's little boosters under this capsule
help the crew to
that fire,
Finally,
and when they fire, they slow the capsule down. And
20 centimeters
you'll see
above
them
the ground,
fire off
the
here.
6 retro rockets fire to further reduce the capsule speed to approximately 5 kilometers per hour. The capsule
Look at that.
hits
You see
the
it?
ground. Capsule speed meters above the ground, 5 kilometers per hour.
Look at the explosion.
The capsule reduce the capsule speed to approximately 5 kilometers per hour. The capsule hits the ground. Capsule speed to approximately 5
So there are those
kilometers per
boosters.
hour.
Boom.
The capsule hits the ground.
Okay, so there's these massive boosters, and look what it did. So here you have it, and this is what it looks like inside. Like what? What? I don't understand. The thing's only falling at 13 miles an hour. Like, what do you even need that for? Literally, it's falling at 22. The last parachute that pops out of the Soyuz capsule slows it down to 22 kilometers an hour, which is like 13 miles an hour, coincidentally. But you have to have all this crazy boosters on the bottom to slow it down.
But the crew's seats continue moving down.
Look at it! Oh my God! Look at
The
it!
capsule hits the ground, but the crew's seats continue moving down, and shock absorbers help to make the landing softer
crazy.
for the crew.
All right, so you see what the booster just did to that, right? Okay. Well, watching this footage, just trying to understand what was happening with these boosters, it really plagued me. I'm like, look at, just from that little booster, look at the dust that came out. Just from that little booster, those little boosters, just to slow it down. Here you have the Apollo lunar lander for Apollo 11, and with a rocket under it. Here you have the touchdown pad. Is there dust in there from the rocket making a debris, a debris field? I mean, is this real life? Like, look, okay, they have a rocket to lower this down onto here, and there's no crater. This piece of junk, this, oh my God, I can't even handle it anymore.
Hits the ground, but the crew's seats
Look
continue
at that.
moving down, and shock absorbers help to make the landing
So
softer
here's what it would
for the crew.
look like. You'd have dust.
The soft landing
We
is
actually
not
have
the-
evidence to show what it would look like if you had boosters under something. And here it is.
Next to the capsule shortly after touchdown, and the team helped the crew to exit. Finally, 70 centimeters above the ground, the 6 retro rockets fire to further reduce the capsule speed to approximately 5 kilometers per hour. The capsule hits the ground, but the crew's seats continue moving down, and shock absorbers help to make the landing softer for the crew.
Boom! Look at that. Oh my God. And then here you go. Here you go. There you go. Here's the lunar lander. This huge thing landing with this rocket under it, and there's no debris field. There's not even dust inside one of the legs here. And here's a funny one. So it's so soft. Neil's foot goes in it. With a 10,000 pound, no, I don't know if it's 10,000 pound. 5,000 pound machine, 8,000 pound machine doesn't sink into the, that's just, more or less, it's just this. Look at this rocket does nothing. It's ridiculous. It's just literally insane. Literally insane. Look, nothing. Nothing. The horizon's look, I'm not even kidding. Look at the shadow. Look at where the shadow goes. To the end of the soundstage. It's literally the moon's so small, the curve is 20 feet away. You can get to the curve 20 feet away on the moon. See it? That's where the curve goes down over there on the moon. It's so crazy. Oh my god. So here's what a 10,000 pound thruster rocket looks like. I'm sorry, let me say that again. Here's what a rocket with 10,000 pounds of thrust looks like after landing on the lunar surface. Here is what the thrusters look like. And here's actual footage of what thrusters or boosters would look like on simulated Martian environment. In this case, it's Earth. So let's take a look.
To exit. Finally, 70 centimeters above the ground, the 6 retro rockets fire to further reduce the capsule speed
I'm
to
done.
approximately 5
I'm
kilometers
done with these
per hour.
guys.
The capsule hits the ground, but the crew's seats continue moving down, and shock absorbers help to make the landing softer for the crew.
I just can't believe it. Seriously, they're like they're like sloppy, and it's not. I don't think they care. I have no. I mean, oh my god. Sometimes when I'm putting this stuff together, it doesn't hit me as much as when I'm actually like talking about it here live. Like everything culminates together. I'm like, I don't even know what's happening. It's just crazy, just simply crazy. But that's this is crazy.
The wind and the sound, you're almost breaking the sound barrier. Then in the opposite direction, of course, you're coming back into the normal.
Burning the outside layer of the wood.
The descent module follows a path that is
parts
protective coatings.
How do they sit there for 6 hours like that? They're stuck like that for 6 hours. 6 hours. Imagine your knees being bent like that. My foot would be freaking asleep. Oh man, I was watching a lot of the old STS missions from the 80s, 90s, and like 2000s, the STS missions. Man, that stuff's crazy. And I swear the older stuff is better than the new stuff. I swear they glitch a lot in the new ones. The old stuff to me seems to me like they're actually in true zero G. Like almost like they really could go up there at one time and something happened they're not allowed to anymore. Or so I don't know. It's just speculation at this point. But I still believe what I believe, you know. And some of the footage looks like legit to me. They're in some sort of micro or no gravity environment, more so than any of the footage does now. Here you go, soft landing. Soft landing, yeah. This looks like a soft landing. 13 miles an hour versus this.
Jest. Zapis.
Just rather the freaking just rather the 13 mile an hour drop. Let's see. We'll leave that on for 1 second here. Let's see. Antarctica. Facts about the coldest continent. The coldest, windiest, and driest continent, Antarctica contains 90% of all the ice on the planet in an area just under 1.5 times the size of the United States. Oh, let me see. Control F, desert. Here we go. Despite its thick ice, Antarctica is classified as a desert because so little moisture falls from the sky. The inner regions of the continent receive an average of 2 inches of precipitation, primarily in the form of snow, each year. More rain falls in the Sahara Desert. The coastal regions receive more falling moisture, but still only average 8 inches annually. Alright, so it's just... Yeah, that's crazy, though. But I think they're only basing it on how much snow falls from... I don't think they get, like... Are there clouds in Antarctica? I think that's what they're basing it on. It is crazy, though. Antarctica is based on a desert. Only because of the moisture. It's still ridiculous. They're just messing with people. Just to get you torqued up. It's so insane. So ridiculous. I can't believe it. I literally can't believe it. Here you go. Here's Al Gore. Al Gore was right, everybody. You're underwater. I actually have scuba gear on right now. I'm broadcasting from under 10 feet of water. It's insane. What's my time at? I'm at 1 hour exactly. Let me see here. I'm gonna take a quick 5-minute-er if that's cool. Is that all right? Can I do that real quick? Not even a 5-minute-er, like a minute-er. I just want to get up real quick. All right, let me put on something in the background so y'all can see this. Yeah, you're in a bubble. You need to be. Seriously, be underwater, man. In Atlantis. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I know where you are. You're, let me see. Did I delete that? You're in this place. Hold on. Give me 1 second to find this. I'm, like, on a mission now. Oh, shit. I just spilled my drink on my laptop. Oh man, hold on, we're having technical difficulties at the What Was That channel. Give me 1 second here. Man, that's a bummer. I spilled my drink in my laptop speaker. I'm not happy about that, but we'll deal with that later. That's exactly my luck. All right, let me play something real quick here. That's really upsetting. That bothers me. I spilled all my drink in my laptop speaker there.
Thank you, Pilot. I appreciate it. I just don't know. I'm just going to go to Scleractinian at the moment.
Hey, Chris, what are all these white dots on there? I thought on the rock face they looked like just the bases of other coral, but are those more brachiopods?
They could be yours.
Yeah, they are.
Is that what they are?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, you're right. There's one that's open.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. They're using this coral as a substratum.
And that live Scleractinia right there is Anelopsamia, I think. So maybe this is older. And there's a purple fish that was inside the branches. And there's a sea star.
Yes.
Just went to the bottom there. There he is.
I saw it. I'm not sure we're at the right angle to see it. Looks like Henricia, though. Henricia or maybe a pedicellastrid of some kind. Oh, yeah, pedicellastrid. Huh.
You gotta log it. We're gonna forget it.
So, pedicellastrids are... pedicellastrids are sea stars that are in the same group as what you might recognize in shallow water, like ochre stars or Asterias, but they're considered sort of primitive. They only have 2 rows of tube feet. Their skeletons are much more poorly developed, and they occur at the base of the tree of those sea stars.
That moves
You only see them in cold and deep water. Oh,
That's a live grammatinotus. I think Brian Green will concur. I'll take a look and see this time if he's commented on it in the chat log.
I do love me some brachiopods. Neato. Okay, come on up.
Sometimes these grammatinotus can
All right,
appear in
I'm
very
back.
large-
Yeah, yeah. I just bought this laptop like not too long ago, just specifically so I could do these streams because my old laptop couldn't handle the OBS and stuff. So I upgraded to a much better laptop. I can run like Adobe Premiere, all this OBS stuff without any issues. And much like most of the environment, I'm underwater here with what do we got? What am I drinking? Raspberry seltzer water. I don't even know. Hope my laptop likes it because it's thirsty. I can't believe that. What's this rock? What is this? What is making... What's making those marks in rock down there? I'm gonna go back. Can we go back? Look at that. Makes that stuff. What is that? Is that sand? Rock? What are they even looking for? I can't watch this. I'm still mad about the Al Gore thing. I'm really upset about that. That was pretty much all I had for the broadcast. I was going to try to keep it around an hour, and it seems I'm pretty good with that. I can keep it right at an hour, unless there's anything else I want to take a look at we can make fun of. I figured I call out NASA again with their stupid booster rocket thing. I mean, you can clearly see what a booster rocket does to particles or granule. I don't know what you call it, sand, dust, whatever. You have the horizon being 20 feet away next to the lunar lander. I mean, literally, you can see the tip of the shadow of the lunar lander is at the end of the soundstage. I mean, it's just insane. And then, I don't know, you have the US Geological Survey 2017 June lecture. Just pure fear porn. You know, it's just insane. It's just insane. Keep an eye out, everyone. I want to give a shout out to a couple channels. The reason why I started this, the You've Been Exposed channel. It's okay to ask questions, and Dred's right, and that's what I do. I'm asking questions. I'm done with this garbage. I mean, it's just blatantly obvious what's happening. Let's see. I want to check the chat, make sure I didn't miss anything. I want to give a shout out to Nicholas Cabal, one of the moderators in the chat. Nicholas is a What Was That channel affiliate. He runs the Nicholas Cabal channel. Some of the footage I pull from his channel is weather related. Nicholas gives us a look into the weather modification and geoengineering happening down in Florida. And thanks, Nicholas. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end this broadcast. Thanks everyone for watching. Gonna watch or maybe watching the video in the future. Thank you.